What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel for another video. Today's video we're going to talk about off-leash handling and how we're going to use that in our advantage and some of the rules and parameters and what that looks like. If you guys like seeing these videos, do not forget to get down there and hit that subscribe button and that notify bell to get notified when I post another video. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so off-leash and off-leash handling. If you've been around the channel for a while and you've been a subscriber for a while and you've been keeping up on my videos, I talk about off-leash a lot, right? So we all kind of understand what that is and how that looks. For those of you that are just getting around here, the off-leash is just your dog off-leash in the woods around you in your vicinity, okay? So if we have a dog off-leash, there's a couple rules that I like to follow, and there's a couple things that we need to really make sure that the dog is comfortable with and the dog is fully understanding what its capabilities are when it is off leash. All right, so number one, unless we are in like a close quarters area or going to and from the truck, or we need the dog in our vicinity, we do not need to have a distance that dog is allowed to go. Okay, so if we are in the woods where we're supposed to be, we're hunting or we're doing woods time, and we have a dog off leash, this dog has unlimited distance, right? We are never going to buzz the dog for getting out of our sight. We are never going to call the dog back for being off where we don't know where it's at. That dog has free will to go where and go when it wants to go, right? We have to make sure that when we're off leash, we are not limiting the distance of our dog. I know that when we're in the very beginning, early stages, it's really easy to kind of get worried about a pup. It's really easy to try to always want to keep eyes on them and things like that. But if we have GPS and we have a shocking system and we have all the things in place that we need to be confident that we will get our dog back if it does get off away from us, then we should have the utmost ability to go ahead and pull that plug and let them go. Okay, so we need them gone. We need them off away from us. Having off leash time in the woods and being off leash in the woods, this is where all the magic happens, right? If the dog can't be off leash in the woods and it won't go in the woods, we kind of don't have a hunting dog. But we have all this process to get there. Okay, so there's all these different little stages and different things that it looks like when we have them off leash. The biggest rule is there's no distance requirement. The only thing that I kind of keep in the back of my mind is if my dog starts taking off behind me. Okay, so if I know that I'm not that deep in a chunk of woods and he starts peeling off behind me, I'm going to get him back and I'm going to try to keep him going that way, right? We want to keep them and give them the softball to hit to where they're going out into the open country, they're going out into the open woods, they're taking off in directions that we're not going to have to, put a limit on them. We want them to go as far as they want to go, right? Okay, so another off-leash thing here. When we're walking a dog through the woods, it's kind of pertinent to have different commands on a dog for recalling. Okay, we should be able to let out a whistle and our dog return. We should be able to holler and have our dog return. We should be able to have maybe a couple different commands for our dog to come out of the woods, right? So when we are doing this and we're in the woods and we're having those times when we are calling them, we need to be doing all the commands at once, right? So we need to be letting out a whistle and whistling, and then hollering and calling them. So we need to be combining all of our commands up in the same chunk, right? So if we're going to call a dog, we're going to whistle and we're going to holler for it, and then we're going to whistle and then we're going to holler for it, and we're going to whistle and we're going to holler for it. And what this does is it makes it so easy. You will get your dog to a point to where you can be in the woods. Maybe you're in the woods and you don't feel like hollering so loud, right? So you can just let out a whistle and they'll run back to you. And then we need to be combining this with our shock system. Okay, so when we are whistling and giving out a command, we need to be giving a tone, right? So whistle, command, tone. Whistle, command, tone. And once we whistle, command, tone, if the dog doesn't come, then we're going to whistle, command, vibrate. Whistle, command, vibrate. And we're going to up this all the way up to the stimulation until they start coming back, okay? So this is a good way to get a good chunk of the recall done. We can have a whistle, whistle for the dog. We can have a holler for the dog, and different commands, even that much so, right? And it just gets worked out in a way that the dog knows I'm not getting toned, I'm not hearing a whistle, he's not hollering for me, I'm good to be gone, right? So that is what we're trying to translate, and then we're also trying to build a tool set to get them back. Okay, so another off-leash tip here that I like to use is hand signals, right? So, and it's not so much like this kind of thing, but we're gonna like shoe our dog. Okay, so this is a good one, right? So if we're just doing this underhand shoeing thing, this will almost always get a dog to just turn around and quit paying attention to you, right? So if we're walking and the dog stops and looks at us and we just start shooing it like this and keep on walking, 9 times out of 10 they're going to turn around and they're going to go, right? And we can have like this shoe with just a one hand. If they're off behind us and we start hollering for dog and we just start waving our hand like this, what they'll start to build in their brain is, if I see him doing this, it means go. If I see him doing this one hand thing, it means get from behind me and get in front of me. And we're building all these things. And then we have a off-leash handle on a dog. So this is kind of the video that I wanted to get out. I don't want to make it so much of putting commands on dogs or using shot collars and things like that. Just want to sprinkle in some good tips for you guys to get out in the woods and get a decent handle on a dog while it's off leash. It's really easy to do as long as we're just staying consistent every time, right? So if we're going to be out in the woods and we're going to say, come on, and shoot the dog with one hand to get out from behind us, and this is what we're going to do, or we're going to let out a whistle and then go like this to get the dog to come from behind us to go out in front of us. And then all of a sudden we start doing it with this hand, or we start doing it with both hands from behind us. It confuses the dog. So if we're going to pick our set and we're going to stick with our set, right? Now, there's other things. You can go super, super deep into this. This is some of the stuff that we kind of talked about on the podcast. Cousin Boog was talking about it on the podcast. He could tell the dog that he was running to hunt left, hunt right, and do all these things, and the dog would do that. This is awesome, right? This is a dream to have an easy handling dog that is off leash. And then if we have a dog that is had a good handle put on it off leash, and it knows get gone, it knows get out from behind me, it knows come here, come back, right? So we're whistling, or we have whistles, we have commands. It keeps us locked in, it keeps the dog locked in, and then the dog has very few rules to follow when it's off leash. And that is the most important part. The dog has very few rules to follow off leash. And we're going to keep it very, very simple for them off leash, so it's not hard for them to go ahead and pick up on these little things. And we'll just have so much better time in the woods, and we'll just have a better dog altogether. And then that's when I said in a couple videos, you want to thrive in this off leash, right? Okay, so this is where you want to be at. You want to get to off-leash in training. You want to get to off-leash in the woods. You want to get to off-leash in loading. You want to get to off-leash, right? So we want a dog that is able to be off-leash 95% of the time. Do you know how much easier it is to pack coons? Do you know how much easier it is to pack equipment, to pack lights, to pack guns if you don't have to leash walk your dog everywhere you go? If you have a good handle on your dog, and when you holler for your dog and it comes back, and it tries to get out of your vicinity, and you say, come here, and it stays in your vicinity, and you can walk through the woods and the dog be right by you, and then you can tell them, hunt them up, and they'll go. Okay, so these are all layers and all building blocks that we're going to work towards, and we can work towards these from the day one that we put them in the woods. And I'm going to make another video coming up, and I'm going to try to break down, because there's so many boxes to check, and it's so many different facets that look and are titled and seem like the same, but they're not the same, and we need to have different mindsets and different rules when we're accomplishing different tasks. And I figured I would start here with the off-leash stuff. So if you guys like this video, please don't forget to get down there and hit a like and a subscribe. Leave me a comment. I'll greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to go over and check out the Facebook group, because the Facebook group is just starting up, already getting a lot of action in there. I made this Facebook group for you guys to be able to have a place you guys can go and be amongst people that are trainers, be amongst people that are training dogs, be amongst people that are going through a little bit of issues and need help, and just have a nice little place there that everybody can take the prying eyes off of us, and take the people out there that look down on people who have issues with their dogs here or there, or need help here or there. There ain't nothing wrong with it at all. And if we all behaved and had a you know, open mind and helped everybody the best that we could, everybody would get along so much better, and everybody would have dogs that did so much better. So, you know, share the knowledge in that group. That's kind of what that's for. If you guys are trainers and you guys have been doing it a long time, get in that group and help guys out, because I know everybody greatly appreciates that at the end of the day. All right, so we are going to do shout outs. Shout outs, there's a decent little list here, and I want to reiterate for some of the newer guys, I cannot see every single subscriber, okay? So if you guys have a private YouTube page, I cannot necessarily see who you are, right? I can see I have a subscriber, but it does not tell me what your name is, okay? Or it doesn't give me your channel information. So if I miss you guys, I'm really sorry. There's nothing really I can do about that. I try to get everybody. Leave a comment. That's probably the best way for you to end up getting a shout out. If you are a subscriber and you missed a subscriber shout out, is just leave comments, because I can get the comments, right? So first things first, Donald Berryhill, thank you for the comment. Janine Foster, thank you for the comment. Justin McMurray, thank you for the comment. Savage Mark 2G, thank you for the comment. And Charles Michael and Scott's Westfall, thank you for the subscribe. You two, last two were subscribers that I seen. I think it's awesome. It's really awesome to have people come in here and subscribe to the content and subscribe to the channel. And it's even so much more. There's another guy named Garrett. Okay, so Garrett, you contacted me on Gmail. I am more than willing and more than, you know, have no issue with taking time out of my day to email you guys back, to message you guys back on Facebook, and to, you know, get under in the comments and have a talk. I have had guys on Facebook get a hold of me. I've had guys on my personal Facebook, my Facebook page, Facebook groups, Gmail, on YouTube. You guys feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions about anything, and if I have the tools that try to help you along, I will definitely do so. Jeff Jackson, I haven't heard from you in a while. I would really like to have an update on that dog. Jeff Jackson, you know, he's one that I was talking to in Gmail. You know, there's a lot of really good subscribers out there, and I just want to give a big shout out and a big thanks to each and every one of you guys. And I wish I could just, you know, show up and shake all your guys' hands for, you know, supporting the channel, supporting the Facebook page, you know, leaving the comments and supporting, you know, getting a hold of me through Gmail. It's just awesome. It's phenomenal. I couldn't be more happy with it. I really hope that we can grow this channel and keep it, the momentum building. I know we're in off season for a lot of places, and it's really super hot, and, you know, we have a lot of holidays coming up and things like that. I know I have a vacation coming up, so I will be off of YouTube. I won't have any videos come up for maybe a week or so, because I'm going to take vacation the end of next week. Okay, so I might post some in the community, but the video thing, I'm not going to be able to get any of those out until I get back, but you guys will be the first to know when I get back. So without any further ado, let me wrap this video up for you guys. Please get down there and hit a subscribe for me on the channel. I greatly appreciate it, and keep them treated.